Okay, I think we are live, and I think we can just get straight back on track. Where did we? Oh, yeah, that sounds like we are definitely back on track. Okay, let me switch that off. Switch that off right there. Okay, good. All right. Yes, so we left off with G-Man doing the critique of um, he was doing an interview, sorry, with Jason. But I wanted to start with Von Helton because he put up a couple of short videos, totally incoherent as usual. But I thought we'd lead in with that.
Everything is blowing up, part two. uh, Trump has put out a statement, a public statement. Iran is in big trouble. If they slaughter a bunch of innocent people, Trump is apparently really upset. There is uh, talk that Iran slaughtered a whole bunch of protesters. I don't know if that's the case, but he was talking about it in the context of something that may have recently happened. I don't know. Anyway, the point is that he's pissed off. He doesn't want any more killing. He doesn't want the protesters to be slaughtered in the streets and shit like that. Trump, like myself, remembers Tiananmen Square, where all those innocent Chinese were literally slaughtered, gunned down in cold blood. And China's attempts to sweep it under the rug failed because most of us remember it. Anyways, the point is that the Persians are wanting to take Iran back. See, for those of you that are not historians like myself, Iran used to be Persia. Iran used to be a pagan country. Um, Not sure if they were sun pagans or moon pagans, but it doesn't matter. They were peaceful. Okay, they were a peaceful people. And the Muslims saw an opportunity to kill all the pagans and take the country. Now, they didn't kill all of the pagans this time around. There was actually a bunch of them left alive, which may have been a mistake because now the Persians are asserting themselves, saying they want their country back, Persians for Persia, and all that good shit. And they want the mullahs gone. They want Ayatollah Khomeini. They want his ass gone. And they want to become a pagan country again and the people to be free. And they are well within their right to insist upon that because that is a matter of historical record. Iran used to be called Persia. It sure did. That's the truth. So yeah, things are blowing up. Part two. And there's massive protests going on in Iran. And, the mullahs, from what I understand in history, haven't always been kind to the people. Even their own fellow Muslims, they haven't been kind to. And so the Muslim civilians and the Persians especially are wanting their country back, and they're wanting change. They're wanting major change in their country. And like I said, a lot of these pagan countries before Islam took them over, they were peaceful. Even the Quran itself says that a lot of these pagan countries were peaceful. Muhammad just wanted to be a horse's ass and go in there and take them over anyway. I don't think that's justified, but that's a discussion for another day. The point is that Islam, Muhammad in particular, the Ottoman Empire in particular, did go in there, take a bunch of these countries over, even though they were peaceful, and converted them to Islam by force. And so those of you that are historians can look that shit up, or amateur historians can look that shit up. Now, as far as the people themselves, they are well within their right to demand change and to insist that they be set free. They are in bondage, similar to the Venezuelan people who were in bondage for over 20 years. Now, I can't honestly say how long the Persians have been in bondage, but it was a long ass time ago when the Ottoman Empire took that land over. So, um, I mean, are they deserving of freedom? Of course they are. You know, so we'll see. We'll see how this develops. Obviously the Persian people and what few Iranian people might have a functioning brain, sadly. But people are like, hey man, this is bullshit. We want change. We want freedom. They maybe, and who knows? It could be the liberation of the Venezuelan people that spurred this on even more. I don't know, but I think this protesting was actually going on before the Venezuelan people were liberated. But I mean, I'd have to go and check, to be honest. The point is, though, is that the Persian people and Venezuelan, Lord have mercy, the Persian people and Iranian people are correct. They have every right to insist on change. They have every right to insist that the mullahs have been unfair in their dealings with the people. And the Ayatollah Khomeini actually hasn't been a good guy either, supposedly. So we'll see how this develops. But yeah, apparently everything is blowing up. So blow up number 2. So we'll see. There was a computer game years and years and years ago. It was one of those back and forths, horizontal. I mean, and old black and white computer game called the King of Persia, or the Prince of Persia. Excuse me, Prince of Persia. And you would go in there and you would um, try to rescue this princess or whatever. And so that was one of the things that you did. And so that was it was a good game. It was a good game, but it was a real old game, old black and white, back and forth. And so there. But anyways, yeah. So let's see how things develop. But yeah, it seems like everything's blowing up, guys. So anyways, don't forget to like, share, rate, subscribe, donate, and pontificate, because your donations and gifts of love keep me going through these trying times. Have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow, folks. Bye. Oh, what a difference 5G makes, let me tell you. And my location, obviously, as well. But anyway, suffice to say, Trump issued a post on Truth Social telling the Iranian protesters, Iranian and Persian, let's put them both in there because they're both in there, not to quit and to keep a record of all the killers and haters and the people that are trying to abuse them and molest them and kill. And with good reason. But now Trump went on in his post to say help is on the way. Now, I don't know what that means. You don't know what that means. But we'll find out, I guess, won't we? And also too, the opposition leader for Iran was on a live banner telling the people also to keep resisting, take over your institutions, take over anything and everything that would help their cause. But help is on the way, Trump said. Wow, now see, I didn't know that 3,000 people have been slaughtered. Does that compare to the Tiananmen Square massacre? Probably not, but it's still a shit ton of people. No wonder Trump was upset. 3,000 people were killed senselessly, mercilessly. Well, now we know, don't we? So, yeah, wow, crazy, man, crazy world. But Trump said in his Truth Social post that help is on the way, and I believe him. Remember, they said Trump wasn't going to engage with Venezuela's dictator, and he did. So hang in there, Iranians and Persians, we're coming. we're coming. We're going to help. I reckon. I reckon we're going to help. I don't know how, but we're going to help. Now obviously I want this, me personally, I want this to be as organic as possible. It should be Iranian and the Persian people that are leading the charge, obviously. And, obviously I want them to be free, of course. But yeah, so wow, hey, what about that, folks? 3,000 people slaughtered needlessly. Wow, that's crazy. No wonder Trump was so upset. So now we know a little bit more, don't we, guys? Yeah, now we know. Mainstream news finally admitted that people had died. But isn't it funny how the mainstream media was keeping it quiet that a lot of them protesters were dead? I wonder why. Why is that mainstream media? Why was you keeping it secret that them protesters had died? Why did you do that? That's something else, isn't it? Isn't that something? I wonder why that is. Anywho, just thought I'd share because I can and because I should. And but yeah, Trump said in a True Social post that help is on the way, and to keep resisting, keep on keeping on. And the opposition leader was on video telling them to take over institutions, get anything that you can use to help yourselves with. And so yeah, so it's not dying down. I guess the media thought this shit would all blow over and die down. Well, it's not dying down. The people are serious. They want freedom. And I don't blame them one bit. Not one bit. So yeah, wow, this is crazy, huh? Isn't this great? This is great stuff, man. This is awesome. Anyways, just thought I'd share. Y'all have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Don't forget to like, share, rate, subscribe, donate, and pontificate, because it is your donations and gifts of love that keep me going through these trying times. Have a wonderful day, folks. Bye.
Taxes because of grass being too high for a long period of time. There's a whole bunch of violations that place had. Like, I'm pretty sure the house that he's in right now has got similar violations. If I got that house for $1, I'd go to the same nonsense again. That's why I kind of passed on it, because I remember what I had to go through with this first one.
It can become a burden to people because there's bills.
Yeah, there's property taxes for houses. Like in my state, it's not cheap. Like you have a $500,000 house, it's like $6,000-$7,000 a year of property taxes.
Shit. Yeah, exactly. And Scranton, just Scranton tax alone. The last time
he's right about what he's about to say here. When I had that house, the taxes over there, man, it starts at $3,000.
Paid it, and now it's I can't imagine what it is now. But just the city tax was over $3,000 a year. That's like, whoa, that's pretty bad. $3,000 in taxes for just 1 year. That's rough. But it goes to pay for everything in the city, allegedly. So
this is before I sold the house.
Interesting. That's fascinating. All right. So
I say allegedly.
Are you on good terms with G-Man?
I wouldn't. No.
Why?
Why? Well,
look, I don't know the lore between you two at all. Like, I'm completely naive and ignorant to it, and I'm not even being sarcastic here in my tone. Like, I genuinely don't know.
Oh, he's like, what's
up with that? Like,
okay,
you guys are not close to somebody who you sold a house to for $1.
I know. Things happened. Words were said, hurtful words on both sides. Lies were told, and the possibility of a friendship in my mind is just like I was telling you before. How could I do it? If somebody would look at any number of people and lie to their audience directly about you, and they know they're lying, how could I be his friend again?
What did G-Man lie to you about, or lie about you two on his YouTube channel?
I mean, all the slander about CA, the stuff with the kids, man. There was look, we got letters.
Oh God. Okay. All right. The last time I was on the phone with Jason Egroff, the last time I was on the phone with him, he wanted back his GameCube, the red one. And the reason why he wanted the GameCube, because I was offering him his what the heck was I offering him? I think he wanted one of the lightsabers back. He wanted like a laptop. I think he wanted like one of the EverDrives. He wanted back, maybe all of them. He wanted his Sega. But the thing that like I said, you saw the beginning of this video where you saw me at the house or whatever and whatnot during that time. I promised to give him his stuff and whatnot, right? Or whatever. He knew the conditions and everything and whatnot. And I was talking to him. I didn't want to talk to Shanny because I was just done with her. I didn't want nothing to do with her. And she was there. No, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. No. I got this wrong. No, during this time, apparently Shanny wasn't supposed to be there. This is important for what I'm going to say a little later in this video. I got this one all wrong. Shanny wasn't supposed to be there. It was just supposed to be him. Okay? Then all of a sudden, because Shanny and him are friends and they broke up. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay. So he wanted the red GameCube because he said the GameCube belonged to Shanny and he wanted to give her back her GameCube. So, mind you, he's telling me on the phone that she's not there. Of course, I don't believe him. But he's sitting there telling me that she's not there and whatnot. And then I say, I'm not giving you nothing to give back to her. And I brought up what happened the last time I was there when I was trying to give him candy. I was going to give him an RV, give him like about 10 grand and all this other stuff and whatnot. I remember all of this. And then all of a sudden, G-Man, you're a N. I'm hitting record on my phone, trying to record it. Turns out that only my voice is recorded and not his. N. You're a N, hard A. No, I'm sorry, hard R, my bad. N. And then I made my YouTube video about it, talking about it. And I have the archive to prove it on here. He admits it when he was on somebody else's YouTube channel. And I think it's the one with the little fluffy thingy on it. And I think Hussey was responding to one of the videos or whatever. So he was calling me the N-word multiple times the last time I talked to him. That's when I was like done with him. Y'all see how many different times I even offered the man back his house. I said, listen to me. You leave Shanny, you get a job, you get off the booze, you do this, and this. I'll give you back your house. It's all documented. Carrie covered it. You can go take a look at it. You can see for yourself.
In the mail, and I read them on air. I think it was on Loudmouth Hussey, that interview. I read those letters out live. And
from what, CPS?
Yes. And they said from the start, the CA stuff was unfounded. There was no proof of it. None.
So let me get this right here. First, you admit that you kicked Zachary when you made your home from prison video, that you was a terrible person and whatnot. Then you make another video and say you didn't. Then you make a video and say you did. And then you make another video saying you didn't. Jason, we call that lying. It's either you did or you didn't. You can't do both at the same time. That breaks the law of non-contradiction. You can't actually say you did and you didn't do it at the same time. You either kicked them or you didn't. And this is all out of your own mouth, XX Archives. It's all there. And then you don't want to take XX Archives word for it. Go listen to One Bad Bee when she was on here. Go take a look at Jules Tells All, your new buddy and everything and whatnot. Go look at Burnt Toast. Go look at my God, the whole internet has it. You're just as abusive as Shanny is. Go look at what happened, why you two originally got kicked off of YouTube when you was in the car and you got mad at one of the kids. Stop with the nonsense, you liar. Stop it. You told me you did it. Shanny told me you did it. William told me you did it, and they were scared of you. But I get it, Jason. You want to look as good as possible to all these people who don't like you. Listen to me, dude. If you're going to try to be me, do a better job at that. Like, honestly, it's just better if you just keep it real, be you, and you might get a little bit of respect from some people. They don't get on here and say, oh, I never did it, and I got paperwork saying I never did it. Dude, all I got to do is go to XX Archive and have you talk. That's it. It's all I got to do.
So they said, we are not going to bother you with this anymore. You're not going to hear about it again because we did a full investigation of both states. Even they did a cross state investigation with Colorado and verified that there was never any evidence of abuse on the boys ever.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question.
Another question I want to ask Jason. Jason, when me and you were doing guy talk and we were walking down Fisk to go to the convenience mart, did you tell me that Shanny body slammed one of the boys in Boulder, Colorado? Oh, look. So let me tell you something. If you guys want to see a spicy interview where I don't, because I'm not one of these nice people in here that's going to hold back. He'll rage quit within 10 minutes. I promise you. Within 10 minutes, he'll rage quit.
Mm-hmm. Why did Shanny
even
lose
about
custody of her children?
To stay in the room.
She lost. Okay, which time? Okay, because there's 2 times.
Both. I want to know both.
Okay, in 2012, she lost them because of a self-termination attempt.
Okay.
They were taken away from her for like a year, and then in the meantime, she found my channel, dropped to her knees, and prayed to Christ, and she saw his feet, and she had a very religious, you'd say, experience, and found Christ, and said, "Please, Lord, if you could do one thing, just get me my children back." And they did come back. They did. She got them back.
I don't know the YouTubers' names, but one of them I think is what the heck was that guy name? He was at their trial when they was in Boulder, Colorado. I forget his name. He's an atheist. I forget his name, but is it? I forget his name. But he made a YouTube video about Shanny's so-called conversion to Christianity, which is why I have a totally different attitude about Shanny and her so-called Christianity. Agent of Doubt, that's his name, Agent of Doubt. Contact Agent of Doubt and ask him about Shanny when she was an atheist and then when she converted to Christianity. Okay, and you'll see why sometimes I'll refer to Shanny as a female Brett Keane.
So she was suicidal, essentially.
Yes.
And that's what she lost in the first time. Why was the second time?
The second time, she didn't lose them. The second time, it's not the right way to put it, because there was no court involved in it. There was no battle. CPS came to our place in Scranton while we were staying there with G-Man owning the place. And it was no longer a possibility for us to afford feeding the whole household. It became impossible with the amount of money that they're.
Okay, so this is okay. So I don't know how real I kept this with you guys regarding this particular time, but what he just said is a bold-faced lie. Let me explain why. First of all, there were YouTubers that was mailing them food on a regular basis. Y'all need to understand something about Shanny and Rev. Okay, if it ain't McDonald's, if it ain't pizza, if it ain't fast food, then you didn't give them anything. Dragnut's not here, so I can't get him to confirm what I'm about to say and whatnot. But there was a time when YouTubers were sending them air fryers, YouTubers were sending them microwaves and things like that. I know this because if you look at the photo I used to use when I was making my videos about them earlier, in the room, you would actually see all of that stuff around the big TV. Okay, and it would be like the air fryers, and it would be all the stuff that people were donating. You remember when I kicked them out, I showed you in the cabinets, there was rice in there. There was food that you had to actually take the time out to cook. So the food was there. They would not cook. Another piece of lore that you need to know about Jason is Jason never wanted the kids to be there to begin with. He has said on multiple occasions that he wished that it was just him and Shanny, and he didn't want the kids around. When they were streaming, the kids was in the room. They couldn't even socialize with their own mother. And this is where I'm going to defend Shanny a little bit. But they couldn't even socialize with their own mother because this buffoon didn't want them to come in the room or whatever. I witnessed that with my own 2 eyes. I'm not saying that Shanny is good or whatever, or nothing like that. I'm just telling you that they was afraid of this guy. All right. So then they had this bed that was on the floor. On one side of the bed, you had junk food. You had donuts, Twinkies, cookies. I don't know the exact brands, but the point is they had Little Debbie's. Let me be a little bit more specific because then they're going to say that Shanny don't eat this and Shanny don't eat that. They had like Little Debbie's. They had like they had cookies. They had like Dr. Pepper and all that other stuff and whatnot on one side of the bed. On the other side of the bed, they had like all this other food that they were hoarding because Jason kept saying that if they put the food downstairs, the kids would eat it. That's not true. Zachary was a very picky eater. And Zach, let me tell you something. I used to buy boxes of cereal, 10 boxes of cereal, but he would not eat certain food. If I didn't buy certain food, Zachary especially Zachary, he wouldn't eat certain food. William will back me up on this. Okay, he would not eat certain food. They had the food. There were times that they had construction bags full of food that wasn't even eaten, that they didn't particularly like, that they threw in the garbage. They could afford the food. They didn't want to be parents. I think that's what actually happened. Okay, because I was actually at work when CPS called, and they wanted me to agree to be at the house for 20, I think, what was it, 20 hours or 30 hours a week or something like that. And I had to sign some documents saying that I was going to be their guardians, and I was going to look after them for like a bunch of different things or whatnot on that day on the phone. I said, I can't do that. I got to work. I work like 12-hour days during that particular time. I couldn't do it. Okay. Then they get on YouTube. Well, we had to give up the kids. You know, we couldn't take care of them no more. We were doing a good thing. We could no longer provide for our kids. Cut the nonsense, Jason. Cut it. You and Shanny are the masters of half truths.
There was their free EBT card. So it was decided that the best move to make, not just in the food thing, but me being in the household with them now after the Zach thing, that's another issue. And so there were two issues.
Kick Zachary, why would Zachary be afraid of you? You see, one of the things about these two is that they'll lie, and then they'll forget the lie that they told, and then they'll start telling on themselves. Absolutely ridiculous. This is why I don't believe nothing that's going on today. I would not be surprised if Shanny and Rev came out tomorrow and said, "We got you, trolls. We got you," and starts counting money on camera and whatnot. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened tomorrow. I don't think it's going to, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happened tomorrow. I really would. And if they do that, y'all should flag them into the ice age.
The main issue was we couldn't feed the boys correctly anymore.
Okay.
There was not enough money to do it.
I mean, if that's a valid reason to take kids if you can't feed them.
Mm-hmm. It's very valid. But they didn't take them. That's not an accurate.
They had food. I just don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it. They had food on one side of the bed and on the other side of the bed, and they had food downstairs. Now, was it the kind of food that Zachary wanted to eat? I don't know. Was it the kind of food that William wanted? I don't know. I do know that there were times when they didn't have enough food to even feed their the guinea pig. The guinea pig, I think, died of being too cold. Because when I used to go to the house, William always asked me to buy vegetables and guinea pig food. And I used to love doing that for William. William's a good kid. Okay. And as much as I talk about ABC and 1, 2, 3 Club and everything and whatnot, when he told me that he was that way, I was more of a support than anything for him. He'll tell you. Ask him. I was more supportive than Shanny, that's for sure.
Way of putting it, because when you take kids from somebody, there's court involved. This was voluntary. The boys said, yeah, we want it. And mom and dad said, mom, reluctantly, she didn't want to.
That's why the kids wanted to get out the house too, is because they couldn't be kids. You can't expect to have a child sit in a bedroom all day while you two blah, 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 blah on the internet all day.
She didn't want to say go, but she said yes. I said absolutely. It's the best thing for them. So that's what happened. That's not the kids being taken. It's not.
That's kind of sad though. Like that's really sad.
Horrible. It's horrible. Yeah. But it was a consequence of bad action in Colorado. There were times when things were very messed up because of mainly being too high, I would say.
When you
I got another theory though, and I think I can back it up with past videos on here. We're just simply not caring about another person. If you listen to Shanny whenever she vents on here, she's not venting for another person's health, another person's mindset, another person's mental health, another person's beliefs, or nothing like that. 100% of the time when Shanny is venting, she's venting about her precious little heart. I don't know what real love is. Shanny, if you don't know what real love is, you never knew Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Let me say this again. If you never know, if you have no idea what real love is, you don't know Jesus, you never knew Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Ever. There's no way in the world you're gonna tell me that you're saved and you're washing the blood of Jesus and you don't know what real love is. Cut the baloney.
Were you guys ever on food stamps at any point with providing for the kids or no?
Oh yeah, for years. Yeah,
300. I think at the uncles the first time they had about $300 or $400 that they were getting for the stamps, and then when they moved into the house that I owned, she was getting about 300 or something, whatever. Their dumb behinds was going to the convenient mart, and they wouldn't actually go to they wouldn't actually do real food shopping. The convenient mart, I think that's where One Bad B was working at. If you walk down from that house all the way down to the corner, that's where the convenient mart was. It was extremely convenient for him or whatever. But all they had to do was go to Walmart, because when I went there, I wasn't trying to hear that convenient mart garbage. We went to Walmart, or we went to one of them supermarkets.
We were on EBT even at the end of Colorado. Shanny signed up for EBT because
Shanny was getting EBT the entire time he was in Colorado, because you two wasn't married, and that wasn't stopping her from getting EBT.
How do you? Maybe I'm on. How do you get that though? If you have like a bunch of money though, and you're living in like
married, that's how.
A place that has like rents to that. Like I don't know. I thought that's for low income.
Well, that's true. But if you got kids, then it could be considered like supplemental nutrition SNAP program.
Or you're not in a relationship with somebody who has all of that money. So when she goes applies, oh, it's just me and the kids. Her plan from day one, and Rev, I keep telling you this, dude. I believe that Shanny's plan from day one. I think Dragnut called it. BG. I don't know about BGTV. I think Dragnut called it, and I think Miss Parker called it. Dragnut definitely called it. Her goal, no, it wasn't Drag. I think it was who was it? Spackle. I know it was the Dragoons, but they called it early. They said that she wanted his money and she wanted my body. That's what it was. She wanted his money and she wanted my body, and she wasn't getting my body. I don't care how badly she wanted it. She wasn't getting the chocolate.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Right. So it's actually for the kids. So we benefit, of course, because it's food for the household. But the main reason we got it was for the boys. That's the main reason.
I can't wait for him to make a video,
because
I can't wait for him to make a video and tell me I'm lying. I can't wait, because then the video response would be super easy.
They check your bank account,
and yet Shanny ate it all.
She didn't have a bank account. You did though. My God, man. No disrespect to Caucasian people, but oh my God, man. Oh. Especially the ones that come from privilege. I don't know nothing about how to. Anyway, Jason's a moron. That's all I got to say. Jason's a moron.
So much. She ate more. Did she? Okay, I have another. Did she ever? Sorry, I'm speaking off the cuff. This is all. I have actually no interview questions. That I have a couple that I wrote out, but like this is going completely off what I originally wanted to do in this video, and I love this. This is all natural and organic. Nothing is scripted here.
The way it should be.
When it comes to Shanny, did she ever hoard food from her children? Or did you ever hoard food from the children? Did either of you ever take food and make sure that the kids couldn't have it?
Absolutely not. It was the opposite. Like when we'd buy stuff, it'd be a day and a half, and half of it was gone. And I
all right, let me see if I have this picture on my thing here real quick. Hold on. Let me see if this, did I delete it or is it still on here? Let's see. How many of you have access to Dragnut's members only stream that he did when I was on that channel? You can go to Dragnut's members only stream and you can see what I'm talking about. You'll see the bed, you'll see what the food was and whatnot. What he just said was a bold-faced lie, and I don't have it on here, but it's on my computer. But it's on my other one. It's on my Dell. If I cut the other computer on and I were to show you the picture, you'll be able to see it. But I don't have it on here because I had to make room on here for the other channel and the things that I do on the other channel. But man, I should have left that on here. But anyway, let's go back to the you can go to Dragnut's if he has an archive or something like that, or you can contact him and he'll let you see the actual whatchamacallit. All right. So he's lying right now. They did. They had food on opposite.
I started telling them, guys, look, I understand you're hungry, but you can't just eat almost an entire box of Hot Pockets in one sitting. You can't do it.
So that was the kids doing that, not Shanny.
No, Shannon she'd eat.
They were doing it because they were hungry. I think you know something about that, Jason. Go look in the mirror. They were hungry. They were hungry. Hot Pockets is not food, okay? That them children should be eating on the day-to-day basis. What should happen is that their adult parents should be boiling rice, making beans, putting some vegetables on, and cooking some meat instead of streaming all day, lying to people about how perfect their life is.
Hot Pocket one, and then
one Hot Pocket for a whole day.
No, not for the whole day. No. But she had her own stuff that she'd usually keep by herself, like chips and stuff and cookies.
Even when you was in jail, buffoon, she was actually holding the food in the room and everything and whatnot. The only difference is when this guy got locked up for doing what he did with Zachary, the kids was actually able to chill out with their mom in the room. Because when Shanny was trying to give me the hard sell, she'll sit there, and Jason can't tell me I'm lying about this because Jason wasn't there. He was too busy being looked upon as somebody's future jail wife. You know what I mean? But they was trying to tell me how they couldn't even hang out with their own mother because of him. Now, whether or not, they was being 100% truthful or whatever is one thing. But the point of the matter is that they was a lot happier when he wasn't around. When he came back, they was afraid and they was scared and they were crying, saying, we don't want him to come back. And I know this because I was standing there when they said it.
Has a thing with hoarding food near her wherever she's at. That's a thing with her.
Oh, by the way, William, if you're watching,
hoard food and keep
real quick, because you'll understand this when I show you this. I finally got them, William. Let me show you. I mean, anybody can get them now because they're not too expensive if you know where to go get them. But I got the radio glasses. If you're watching this, William, but these are shades. These are the radio ones. You can put these on and you can listen to the radio. I finally got them. So for those of you who don't know, I took William to Circuit City. I think we were looking for a something for his laptop or something like that, or something for school or something like that. And we were looking at these together, and I told him one day I was going to get them, but I finally got them, though, by the way. Anyway, let's continue.
From the kids, and now you're saying that she has an issue of hoarding.
Not from the kids. No, she wasn't hoarding it from the kids, Rep. No. She just has it for herself. She'll have
and like by the way, cookies. Defense, it wasn't just Shanny, it was Jason doing this too. It wasn't just Shanny. As a matter of fact, a lot of you may not know this, and I can't believe I'm defending the Minnesota Barracuda. Shanny was already terrible, but this guy was putting some stuff into this woman's head about her own children. And Jason, if you think I'm lying, why don't you come on this channel? Let's talk about it. Because you got some recent videos that will support what I'm going to say.
That she's knowingly buying that are going to be hers. And she keeps them by her bed.
Why did you let this go on? And let me tell you something. If those kids was hungry, G-Man, take me to the store. And I took them to the store and I got them what they wanted. And like I said, these are the parents. I can only do but so much. And I mentioned this on this channel before. It's only but so much I could have did. There are some things I did, and I'm not going to talk about it.
That's a thing for her.
And the kids never came in and like took her own cookies or anything like that?
Oh, no, they wouldn't. They got their own. They had their own tons of snacks and everything. Like we got the vast majority of the food money was spent on stuff going in their mouth because they needed it. They're grown kids.
And for the people that donate to these guys and they say that they don't got food, quick story. I told this story on here a million times. If you haven't heard it before, you're going to hear it now. There was one time they was doing a fundraiser. And I believe that Dragnut was really getting on them hard. I think that was around the time when Jason made that video calling Dragnut the N-word like 40 times or something like that. I think it was around that time period or whatever. He said, Dragnut, you are the biggest, nastiest. And that's on Fat Courtney Love's channel, I think. No, it isn't. It's on what's that English dude name? Irish Bob. What the heck is that guy name? The one that's got Lord Bear and Fat Fit Geeky was part of that crowd. What the heck is that guy name? Irate Alex, I think his name is. Irate Alex, yeah. on one of his documentaries, you'll see him say, "Dragnut, you are a dirty, filthy beep 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 beep." He's calling him the N-word multiple times. So during that particular time, I remember them calling me up saying, "G man, we don't got no food," and their magic number was $30. They wanted me to go on my Cash App. They wanted me to give them $30. You know, it got to the point that I told them that I knew what they wanted the money for, and I told them just anyway. So we talked about that in past videos. Let's move on. So I go over there. I'm ready to go food shopping and buy them all this food. And this is when Jason's accurate about my attitude, about me yelling at them and whatnot. He's very accurate about this. Because when I went down them stairs and I looked in that refrigerator and I saw a pack of hot dogs that I just bought them the last time I was there. They had these packs where you get like 30 or 40 hot dogs in them. Like the Nathan Franks or the Sabrett Franks. They got them really big economy packs. And they didn't even touch them. And they're on YouTube telling everybody that they don't got no food. You know, if you know my personality on YouTube, you already know what I said to them.
They couldn't survive if they weren't eating the type of food that they were eating. Like they had to have calories, and that. But I'm telling you, that's the reason that they had to go, because the
Wait a minute, hold on a minute. So they had to have calories. If I'm not mistaken, what you consider calories is a big jar of peanut butter. That's all you was eating. Until I showed up and bought Kentucky Fried Chicken. By the way, people that like that, other people like it too. You know what I mean? I bought you Kentucky Fried, you Domino's or Pizza Hut. I would buy you guys all this kinds of fast food like Subway or Blimpie. I think it was Subway, not Blimpie. It was Subway. And I buy you all that food and whatnot. But then when I'm gone, I love my peanut butter. While, you know, that woolly mammoth that you called the girlfriend and whatnot, the Minnesota Barracuda, Bigfoot over there, was eating up the whole household.
E-card just could not cover it.
Oh, y'all care about
like
cigarettes.
Half a thing of Hot Pockets, and it's gone. And that's like a $20 box. So then you go back and get another $20 box. And by the end of the month, you're definitely at zero. And it's not the end of the month. It's like mid-month, you're out of money and there's no food. So that was unacceptable to do to the kids. That's complete. That I saw it that way.
In my brain, something just doesn't like.
It depends.
I don't know. Was they had
the last comment? Let me see something here. Daniel 69. All right. It depends on who he's talking to. Repsion said that he didn't know the lore. If he knew the lore, Jason would be more honest. He's talking to somebody who's ignorant, but he forgets that the people that are watching actually knows the real history and whatnot. And then those would be the same people that he's gonna go and beg money for later. This guy's a compulsive liar, man.
He has 2 kids or 3?
2. Boys.
Zachary, and what's the other name?
Will.
William.
Yeah, that's what William, but he goes by Will, you know.
I don't know. It's just I have a hard time making sense of that and food.
Well, did Shanny eat? Yeah, she ate. Look at her. She kept the weight that she had on her.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
she ate. Sure. But was she keeping food from the boys? Absolutely not. That's not accurate. No. They had lots of food, but it wasn't enough for them.
Did she ever keep anything from the kids?
I mean, maybe if there was a candy or something that she knew they'd go through in one sitting, she might dole it out to them instead of letting them have the whole bag and go through it in like 10 minutes. You know?
I guess I know. I've seen a lot of Shanny, and in the past when I've seen her, because back when she would stream and there was the kids were in the background and stuff, I just recall. I remember seeing stuff for it.
The next person that interviews Jason, ask Jason why I kicked him out the house. The next person that interviews Jason, ask him why I kicked him out the house and how he ended up in the hotel to begin with, and then go into details about it. I will definitely respond to that.
Being pretty aggressive around food, almost like a dog. And maybe I'm misremembering, but I remember Shannon being aggressive, like having food aggression.
Well, I would say that there are certain times that I would agree with you completely. There were times like, let's say if it was a food item that she was really.
Zachary had autism, and Zachary knows when he burps to cover his mouth. He doesn't have autism, and he doesn't understand it. Anyway, let's continue.
Into, she would kind of look at, like if I had an item that she really would want, I could feel her eyes going, oh. But I think a lot of couples are like that, Rep. You know, like the husband gets something the wife actually wanted, or vice versa.
Yeah, it's like when it's like when you go to a restaurant and you have a plate of fries, and the girl's like, "I want a taste of your fries."
Exactly.
And off your plate. Yeah, no, I gotcha. I gotcha.
I think that's normal. But let's say a couple times it was kind of like ravenous, like, oh shit, I want that. It's like, all right, Shanny, let's.
But by the way, this doesn't sound like a guy who was being abused by somebody. I want to get to this point now. This doesn't sound like a guy who was being abused. This doesn't sound like a guy who just went through a nasty breakup. This doesn't sound like a guy who has been psychologically destroyed the way he was destroyed. This sounds like a guy who's trying not to be so mean when talking about her. And we've seen this story before. We've seen this before, where they pretended to break up and he refused to say anything mean about Shanny.
Take my plate and I'll take yours. That's cool. You know?
Okay, I'm gonna throw a question, really like a twister here.
Okay.
And it's about you. It's for you directly. It's about you and Shanny. Do you think that you have Stockholm syndrome when it comes to Shanny?
I did.
You did.
I absolutely.
You mean you do?
Was in a mind prison, Rep. Yeah.
Okay, so if you say you did, that would be in the past tense, but because you actually still go through it and everybody can see it, you actually are going through it, Jason. You make more excuses for that woolly mammoth than anybody I've ever met.
I was thinking that.
By the way, if anybody thinks I'm being mean, you guys got to hear the opinions of the other Christians in the community about these two. You really got to ask some of the other people that knew these guys what we think about them. Some of them thinking that the person that Shanny used as a weapon against you guys, God, they sit there and say that, you know, God is their personal hitman. God is the one that's actually making sure they go through this. This is what we would call calamity and judgment that they're going through for their poor decisions. That's why whenever they threaten you with the Lord, I would just let that go on my left ear and out my right one, because neither one of these buffoons know what they're talking about.
Will for my life to take care of this person that gave up on her own life, and it's just my lot. I'm supposed to take care of her until death, do us part, and not even marry after. She wanted to make sure when I die, Jason, please don't get with another woman. She wanted to make sure of that. I said, okay, honey, I'll try and honor that. I guess Christ will want me to. But holy shit, dude.
One thing was asked about is imaginary.
When I went to rehab the first time, and I got professionals telling me what was in front of my face, but I couldn't see it. It was probably the most amazing experience I've ever had in my life, because it was like literally I was going back in my mind and I relived all these things that I had lived with.
If I didn't do this, I really wouldn't be me if I didn't do this. I would like to interview Ezzy. Ezzy, if you want to come to my YouTube channel and you want to defend your man, by all means, contact me and I will interview you on my YouTube channel. But I got a funny feeling that you're not real. But anyway, let's continue.
And I was like, oh my God, that wasn't normal. This treatment, this whole time, this weird treatment of, oh, you're cheating, you're doing this, you're putting all this shit on my shoulders that was not true, and she knew it wasn't. Zero proof of any of it. It all came together in my brain at once, and I said, holy shit, I was with a narcissist. And I was Stockholm syndrome, mainly using God, saying, if you leave me, Christ will eviscerate you. She would say that all the time. And I just don't believe in a Christ like that, Rep. I don't believe he's like that. Because I got a dream, and the dream was, look, if you stay with this woman, you did your time. If you stay, you're going to die. You're going to die. You're just going to collapse on the sidewalk with a heart attack. My dad dropped dead from a heart attack at 47. So I'm not too far off from that, Rep.
What about your mom?
She passed away January 2012 from metastatic breast cancer that went to her bones and.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have
my mother died in 2010? So 2 years after my mom died, his mom died. So that's interesting.
Relationship with your mother?
Oh my God. She was literally my world. So I took care of her to death with that, and it was whoa. But I'm glad I did, because it's very rewarding to be there with the person you love while they pass away like that. But yeah, it is what it is. But I was very vulnerable, and I'm going to tell you, I gave a lot of shit away. I gave a lot of money away. I was very reckless like that.
Okay, so let's talk about the money that he gave away. This is during the time he had wet brain. Well, actually, that's not true. Before he had wet brain, Shanny was manipulating him into. This is what I concluded. Some of this I can't prove, but I think if you go on the Fundy Archive, Holy Spackle's channel, Dragnut's channel, and maybe some of the Dragoon channels, you'll get the proof you need for this. But I believe that she manipulated him into giving money away when he got wet brain, because Shanny wasn't calling it his money when he had wet brain. She was telling people it was her money, especially when you're dealing with two rich white people versus one poor black man, G-Man. I mean, like, really, G-Man.
But I've been told that can happen with people that sort of, you say, shut-in type, only child syndrome type kids. When they lose their parent like that, the last one, they can be real reckless and just start giving shit away. Like it's a case that conservatorships might.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me fix that. Hold on.
Be a good idea for some people. Because the reckless behavior can.
Nah, Shanny saw that you were vulnerable, saw that you were stupid, saw that you couldn't think for yourself, and Shanny threw herself on you, and that's what happened. She took full advantage of you when she found out that you had money. That's what Shanny ultimately did. And the fact that you haven't come to this conclusion yet is just crazy.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Did you ever have a close relationship with your dad? Who was you closer with, your mom or your dad growing up?
Well, my dad died when I was 7. So
okay.
I knew him, but to know him as like an adult, no. I loved him. I'll say that. He was a good dad for the time he was in my life, but he died when I was 7. So yeah,
we have a super chat question for you from Jenny. She asks, Rev, Jason, what do you take responsibility for in your relationship with Shanny? And I think that's a very good question.
That's a broad question, but
well, like, there's things that, how do I say this? So, like, when you're in a toxic relationship with somebody, right?
Yeah.
And you are with them, we as partners, people in general, typically will enable bad behavior from their partner. And when they do bad behavior, but because we're in a relationship where our eyes are blinded, right? We pretty much implicate ourselves in situations where we're also contributing to the enablement of what they're doing and their behavior.
Sure.
Whether we want to or not. So we're also partially guilty of enabling them, and then you're also participating with them and defending them from things that they've done that would be considered wrong. So I
can't argue.
What she's asking here is, like, what do you take responsibility for in terms of fuck ups, bad things that Shanny did? What do you take responsibility for that?
Boy, there were certain times that I defended her for things that I clearly was not okay with in my heart, but I was like, I'm with her, so I should defend her. I would say, like, and my behavior's with it bad too, but the N-word, that's stuff that never should have happened, because we were well aware of the cultural implications.
The N-word was one of a few things. I would say one of maybe one of 3 things that absolutely destroyed her YouTube career, because I wasn't the only person getting called the N-word. Drag got called the N-word. Life of a Free Spirit got called the N-word. There was quite a few people on here that got called the N-word. absolutely crippled their any type of real growth they had on here.
In the years we were we used that word.
And then, by the way, when they kicked me out of that house the way they did, they lost the Christian community. When Shanny went off on me and said I didn't take the money to pay her phone, the Christian community was done with her. So now she's just stuck with all these people who ain't Christians and whatnot that they have to try to please and whatnot. They really underestimated like how much influence I had in that community. Actually, they kind of underestimated how much influence I had in both communities. For the people that remember this, when they threw me out the house, let me tell you the difference between Jason and me. When they threw me out of that house, I only had a few days to get out of there. I did a fundraiser, man. The atheists and Christians were given to me. Both of them were given to me. And I raised rent and security very fast. You notice that he don't got it yet, right? There's a big difference. And people don't like me. I don't want people making the mistake believing that I'm liked and everything and whatnot. There's a lot of people in here that don't like me. But them same people who did not like me, the same people are the same people who says, you know what, I don't like she anymore, so I'm going to help you.
So you and her both use like the N-word like regularly?
Yeah, not regularly. Yeah. No, I wouldn't put it that way. But there were a couple occasions where tempers were really
bragged about it, and I'm going to prove it to you. I'm not going to play the whole video, so don't get all happy over this rap I made. But I do want people to see what Shanny actually said. Just watch this here real quick.
It's the #1 e-beggar on the internet, Revelation News. I want to be the best e-beggar possible.
So, why do I make racist jokes? Well, I'm going to be honest. Because I can.
Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. It was a regular thing, and she still to this very day is unapologetic about saying that stuff. So anyway, let me get back to the video. Here we go.
He flared with certain people, and that word was used. And I definitely regret ever being like, well, you should get over it or whatever. No.
Was it hard R or ending in A?
No, hard R.
Both of you? When you guys got both of you. Okay. See, this is new. I didn't know that.
We're both guilty of that. Yep. And geez. You know, the stuff with her family, I should have just probably not had any words to say about her family, because why should I believe her end of the story without being sure that that's the case? I should remain neutral on her family issues and not talk about her family really. I took her side on her family issues. So I kind of regret that now, knowing what I know now.
You kind of regret it, or you regret it?
No, I'd say I regret it. Yeah, fully. Because with the type of person she is now that I really understand without her having them mask on, I see the real her. She's willing to throw anybody under the bus as soon as she feels like they should be under the bus. She's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So why should I believe her stories about her family? There's good reason to believe it's possibly not true stuff. So that's another regret I would have, like taking her side on her family issues, because I don't know.
I think this is a perfect segue to watch the video of her mother. So Rev has not seen this video. I've only watched 10 minutes of it. What we're going to do now is we're going to swap, hopefully this works, to this. Hello, new angle, new position. So Shanny for Christ's mom tells the real story. This was uploaded and was up for less than, I think it was 3 days. However, the internet does what it does. And we're going to...
All right. I've seen this. I think everybody's seen this. It's on my channel. So I'm going to fast forward through all of this. Watching the mother. I don't know how long it's going to take. Okay, that's what G-Man's doing. He's going to talk about this mother's speech. Now, the mother's speech is on my channel, so I don't really want to watch it. You can watch it on your own. I think that's where it stops. Let's see.
number one, I was in the middle of the great debate community. And I was growing as a YouTuber at that time. And a lot of eyeballs was on me. And she would just like I made a workout video, for example, and she said I was built like a Greek god or whatever. When I made my little 300, I think I did 500 jumping jacks in the video. I think I did about 500 or something like that. And I was wearing tights and I was training for the marathon at that time. And she was saying things like that. I had met Dragnut and a couple of other people, and she was asking them how I smelt and things like that. And then, like I said, we talked on the phone. She was trying to tell me that I need to stay away from food that had processed stuff in the food or whatever. She was recommending that I don't eat certain frozen food or whatever. I forget the words that she used, but she was recommending I don't eat certain things. Then she was saying, well, you know, G-Man, I would allow you to wine and dine me over there in Duluth. I didn't know about no Minnesota at the time. If you listen to me talk geography on here, I once called Texas the West Coast, so I wasn't all that great about like where places was and whatnot. And I had told her that if I would date her, because I never seen Shanny. I even asked her on the phone. I said, well, you know, I seen videos about you and whatnot, and I went to like test her a little bit. And I was like, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? And she was like, you never ask a woman how much they weigh. And then I told her, well, if I'm going to date you or whatever, you're going to have to go get a job, because that's what I did every day. I worked 12 hours a day. I bust my rear end, and I believe in hard work. So her mother actually mentions that I told her that she was going to have to get a job and move out of her mother's house. Wasn't going to deal with somebody who didn't know how to take care of themselves.
Because I cut the cord for a bit. I said, listen, I'm a raging alcoholic. I shouldn't have two young boys underneath this roof. She had a job opportunity that she could have went to. That was a good deal. And she left that job opportunity to come to me with those kids. So was it about money? Yeah, I believe it was about money now. I do believe that fully.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a part of me that wants to believe.
It wasn't just the money too. Shanny wanted to go somewhere where she can smoke marijuana all day too. And that's the real reason they went to Colorado. What Shanny told the YouTube public was, she told me and a lot of other people, it wasn't just you, it was me too. She told everybody that they moved to Colorado because Jason's mother had passed away, and that she wanted to get him away from the house. And then what happened was, when I was going through the house cleaning up and everything and whatnot, Shanny was telling me to throw a lot of stuff in the garbage, like his mother's pictures and whatnot. And I would make like overriding decisions, and he'll tell you this, because when they came from Colorado, there a lot of his mother pictures were still there. I didn't listen to it because I thought it was kind of dumb. So I saved some of the pictures, but the other ones I threw in the garbage. And he was very thankful for that. But that was the excuse they gave everybody on the internet, that he had to get away from the house because it caused him to drink and everything and whatnot. And that's when he got wet brain. And then she started getting him on marijuana, becoming his doctor, claiming marijuana would cure his wet brain. It's a bunch of nonsense.
That there is a human being inside of her of some kind that's decent. But the more and more I start to game this, and I'm starting to listen to Betty with a clear mind, the mom, sorry, her name's Betty, I'm sorry, the mom, I was had on a massive level.
That's what I think her channel was called. I think her channel was called Mom, if I'm not mistaken. And I have this email. Me and Sabella don't get along because she's the only person that knows the name of that dumb email. If I can get the name of the dummy, if I can get the name of the email, I'll screen share everybody what she sent me. It was Shanny's mom after I got kicked out of that house. Her mom told me, shut up, G-Man. Stop making, this is what she told me. Shut up, G-Man. Stop making YouTube videos about Shanny. She's in love with you. I'm going to show you guys this one day when I can get a hold of Sabella. She said that she's in love with me, and that if I let her calm down, they'll let me have the house again. Of course, I didn't listen to Shanny's mother because I ripped a new butthole in her every time I get the opportunity.
The first thing my uncle said to me,
And
he's an old school guy. He's 78 years old. He said to me, Jay, you were taken for a ride.
Yeah.
She took you for a ride.
Mm-hmm.
And you really messed up a really good situation that you had. Very few people get what you had.
Mm-hmm.
One in multiple millions had what you had at your age.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I had to come home to, and that was rough.
Mm-hmm.
That was rough. But he's right. You know, this person came into my life, and
but let me say this though, and I'm sure Carrie and some other people are going to agree with me on this one. You can't really blame Shanny for all of the spending that happened. This man had a $90,000 Dodge Durango. This man bought a bunch of foolishness in video games. He bought a whole bunch of like stupid stuff. This is money. He can do whatever he wants with it. And that's what he's going to say. And don't forget that this man was making fun of poor people and making fun of people who were struggling at the time. And they were ongoing bets that he would be broke himself within a year. It took 3 years, but people were making bets. I had a bet with Sabella that he would be broke inside of like 6 months. Being with Shanny or whatever. It's right there on Skype. Sabella will back it up that we had a little bet going on when he was going to be broke. You know what I mean? And this is when I was going back and forth with these guys and whatnot during that time. But this guy right here was spending a lot of that money too. He was giving money to Brett Keane, to bums on the street, and like all these other YouTubers on here. They were buying friendships. They spent $2,000, I think, or $3,000 to meet some YouTuber. I forget her name or whatever, but they spent a good hunk of change to meet some YouTuber. They were spending their money on some stupid stuff. They were buying marijuana all the time. They was constantly getting high, especially when they moved to Japan. What is it? When they moved to Colorado, Japan.
I let it happen. I should have had the cops at the door and say, look, this woman has 2 children. I drink heavy. Do you guys think this is a good idea for her to be here? I don't think it is. That's what I should have done. I would have saved myself from all this bullshit. So, does Rev have regrets? Oh, you better flip and believe it. Yeah, I do. But I can't go back. It's not a thing. So.
Well, you ain't got too many regrets because you like wearing stockings and you like wearing girl clothing and you like behaving like there's something mentally, there's something mentally wrong with you, I think. But you like to get on here and think you're some type of drag and whatnot. And I don't think you understand what you're doing, Jason. Like Hussy has already been clear about what Hussy's all about. But you, on the other hand, sir, I don't think you know what you're doing. I really don't think you know what you're doing. Because who are you flirting with? You're not flirting with women. And then later on, I love Jesus Christ. I love the Bible. Let me tell you guys about the Lord. One of the places I want to interview him is I want to come on my other channel. He'll never agree to it. It will never happen. I can offer him $1 billion. He will never come on my G-Man channel and answer.
As I said at the start of this, for the future, don't date somebody with kids.
I won't.
You shouldn't be around kids if you can't hold your temper and shit,
It's totally
plain and simple.
If I got on really good meds, Rep, I'd probably be okay. But the fact is, I don't.
Meds or not, man. Like once you hit the kid, it's done deal. It's the proclivity to do that again.
The thing, Jason gets a lot of hate for doing what he did to Zachary, but I'm gonna take it a step further. I don't think Shanny cared about them kids. Especially listening to Shanny go after William and listening to some of the stuff that she was saying about her own kid and how she on a daily basis chose a child abuser over her own child. She literally said, I'm going to stay with this child abuser and I'm not going to have my kids. And then I'm the one who made the video and said, these two are so stupid, especially Shanny. I said that, Shanny, have you ever taken into consideration that the reason why William and Zachary don't want nothing to do with you is because you chose a child abuser over your own kids? I don't care what nobody say. Blood is thicker than water at the end of the day. When it comes down to the blood, people are going to defend their blood. Even if they hate each other, they're going to defend their blood. I promise you, I guarantee you, had Shanny picked her kids over him, she would not be going through what she's going through right now. But of course, this is Shanny we're talking about, who's got the IQ of presidents. I'm sorry, my bad. Who has the IQ of a walnut?
And it's just,
I agree with you completely.
But it's also like you were her. She should never have brought her kids around you, period.
No, I totally agree.
And you shouldn't have been around her kids.
Right. I was a raging alcoholic, and I said that to her. I said, do you think that's smart? You should take the job opportunity you have in Wisconsin.
Well, why would she take a job opportunity when you're there to...
She told you she had a job opportunity in Wisconsin. She told you her parents was abusive. She told you her parents were liars. And then you believed it without any proof whatsoever. She didn't. She played you, dude. She straight up played you. And you want to know what would be funny if Shanny actually got on YouTube and admitted it? Because if this is if this is real and they're really done, Shanny's gonna do it, and she'll try to justify it in her.
I'm Daddy Rev. I got my 750K.
Yep.
Money not
everything. And now I fully get that is basically what it was about. So she could put her ass on a couch and do whatever the hell she wanted because everything was paid for. Yeah. And I said that to her many times, and she said, no, that's bullshit. It was for love and Jesus Christ. And I'm like, okay. If you want to say so, Shanny, okay.
Okay. If you go to Fat Courtney Love, she's wearing green. She's wearing a tiara. This woman is a witch. She was into witchcraft. She wasn't into no Jesus Christ. She was into witchcraft. And we all learned the truth about her when we started watching those wiki dickies. And that is the reason why she lost the Christian community super fast. She got with him. They had all of that money. And then all of a sudden she thought that she didn't need the Lord no more. She didn't need the Christian community no more. She didn't need any of that stuff no more because she had money and whatnot. And it was going to last forever because it was a whopping $700,000 or $750,000. She thought it was going to last forever. Meanwhile, dragging all of them and laughing at them, saying that that's not a lot of money. It's not going to last that long. Not the way they're living.
That's how I got at the end, Rep. I was just like, if you say so, okay.
What?
Because the way she was treating me was not.
Wait a minute. She admitted it. Okay, so BELL Bell Abu 344 says she admitted it. Do you have a link to that? Can I look at it? Does anybody have a link to her actually admitting where she said she was just with them for the money? Oh, Christina Blackfeather is watching this too, I think. She had a job opportunity in Minnesota. Her mom and I were trying to help her out. Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. Okay. So can somebody show me where she admitted that she was with him only for the money? I'm not talking about the troll video that's on Fat Courtney Love's YouTube channel. Did she recently make a video saying that she's using him for the money? I want that link. I'll use that as a short on this channel.
I love you. I love you in Christ. That is not how she was treating me anymore. It was just a meat sack to fucking dump her shit. That's what I became. So fine. I was done with that. I was done. This Thanksgiving, that was it. She was so ungrateful.
Gotcha.
People gave money for our Thanksgiving. She was ungrateful for that. And I got to the point where I literally didn't even want to sit next to her anymore. Her energy was so toxic.
Okay, let's find the video.
That was somebody toxic enough, you both become toxic for each other, and you both are bad at that point, and you both work off each other's energy, essentially.
Exactly.
And you both do things that you shouldn't be doing. You're both unhealthy for each other.
Yep. It's like Becky and Amber Lynn Reed.
Is this the first official time that she's actually like you're away from her in the last 8 years? Like you're separate, like you're not in the same space?
Yeah. I mean, there's been small amounts of time, and this is another one. Like it'll be a week period. We're not around each other. A couple week period. It was this last time. But that's it. Yeah. We're together like all the time. We were. Yeah.
When do you think the point in your relationship with Shanny did you come to the determine that you hate her? Like you genuinely want nothing to do with it? When was that exact moment? Was it Thanksgiving? Or was it a year ago, 2 years ago?
Well, yeah. The hate is a really strong word. What I would say is disgusted with.
I mean, hate and disgusted, they're not mutually, they work together.
Yeah, I guess.
I noticed he's not bringing up Izzy at all in this particular video. That might explain some things. Maybe Jules told him not to bring up Izzy, or one of those guys told him not to bring up Izzy, because I haven't heard him them talk about her one time on here.
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving. Because I was really jovial about donations. Like people were really nice, and so I was happy about it. And she was just like, I don't care. It wasn't enough for a Perkins meal after you bought the stuff. So what good is it? I don't get a turkey meal. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Shannon. Wow.
Because Shanny is on here for the fame and for the money. That is why she's on here. And Shanny will lie, cheat, and steal to get what she wants. The fame, I don't think, is ever going to go anywhere. People are going to talk about her forever. What cracks me up is that there are people out there dumb enough to donate to her, knowing what kind of a liar she is. It's not even about supporting a child abuser no more. Now you're supporting a woman who beats up men. Even if you don't like them, you don't.
That's how you feel.
That,
you had zero gratuity then. None. I literally felt like I wanted to vomit around her.
Now, I've never seen her be grateful for anything. And like, even like in some of the streams that I watched of you were, anytime somebody would buy you, it was like a simple little drink or something, you were always like, thank you so much, blah, 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 blah. And she was
sure.
Like, nothing.
You want to know
I agree with you there
about the donation thingies right now? Shanny and Rev was actually getting more donations, being broke and suffering here like during this time frame when they lived inside of the uncle house and living in a house that I had. They actually received more donations during this time than they ever did in Colorado. And it's not because they had money. Shanny, one of the things that Jason says, he's got a point, that Shanny had access to all of that money, and she could have did so many different things to get her sub count up and get all of that stuff up and whatnot. And all she managed to do was to become one of the most hated, the most hated YouTuber on the net, starting with him saying that he's going to child abuse one of the kids in the car. And then Shanny getting on here using all kinds of racial slurs, justifying her racial slurs, saying that she has a constitutional right to be a racist and all this other stuff and whatnot, not realizing that she was absolutely destroying herself on here. These two got the IQ of a peanut.
Very cold. Cold as shit.
Shanny to this very day blames me for losing. She blames me. She blames me for losing her Shanny for Christ YouTube channel. When in reality, it was Jason in that statement that he made when he said he was going to beat one of their behinds if the cat wasn't found.
And people tried to befriend her, and she would just ignore them or throw them out of her life because she always felt threatened by females. Always. We couldn't have for real.
I know. I was in that stream the other day.
Yeah.
When she went crazy over you talk. I think was it Jules and that other person? I think it was.
Yeah, it's so stupid, man. But that's how she was the whole relationship. If it was, oh my God, if it was an attractive female,
because any person who's not her is better than her by default, almost practically.
Oh my God, I would agree now. Yeah.
All right, let's get back to this video.
All right, are we gonna cut this after Betty or Mom's
done
here?
I also think that because I know that Jason said he doesn't like being called a Christian, and I know that Shanny said that they don't like being called Christians, but I think that these two behave more like I don't want to insult Von Helton because I mean, to a certain extent that they're practicing paganism, but I think that Jason is into black magic. And he's into, I would say as a Christian, he's into Wicca. But it's definitely what we see him doing is not Christianity. A lot of what he's doing is accepted in certain pagan circles. I just don't know what the specific belief is. Because I'm going to tell you something. As a Christian, and for those of you who don't know me, I have another channel called the G-Man channel. And I'm quite serious about my faith. I can assure you of this. Jason and Shanny are not believers. and Jesus Christ. Ain't no Holy Spirit living inside of those guys. Now, could Jason be redeemed? It's possible. Nothing too hard for God, but he's gonna have to stop getting on here lying and making stuff up. He's got to start getting real about stuff. Because Betty is telling the unadulterated truth about her daughter.
Yeah, we'll probably finish it up. We got another 10 more minutes.
Gotcha.
So.
And she's willing to get rid of whoever she got to get rid of in order to prevent being alone. I think that's why she ultimately chose a child abuser over her own children.
Him really bothered her, though. The going silent. That's what triggered. I don't recognize her anymore, who she is. I don't know that person. The person I spent the first 6.5 or 7 years with, that's not the same person. She had a complete mental, you call it, breakdown. And the silence of William triggered it. I'm telling you the truth.
I don't know about that. You can go look at how Shanny was acting recently and then go look at how she was acting on Fat Courtney Love's YouTube channel. I'm sorry. I don't see that much of a difference. Yeah, she was upset that William didn't want nothing to do with her and whatnot and everything and whatnot. But go look at Fat Courtney Love. Let me tell you something. He can say whatever he wants, but I didn't forget how these two behaved when they was on their racist tirades and when they had all of that money thinking they were deities on YouTube.
That's the truth.
Because I swear I've seen a clip of Shanny saying that she regrets having Will.
Oh, God. Ew. If she said that, ew.
It might have also been that her plan all along was, and I think I've heard several YouTubers talk about this, that she was going to wait for William and Zachary to get old enough where she can just basically have them take care of her for the rest of her life. When she saw that wasn't going to happen, she went cuckoo, cuckoo.
In that at all.
It doesn't matter if you mean it. You never say that about a child, though. That is
horrible. Is there a clip of that?
I've seen so many clips.
I'm sure.
I didn't get a whole thing of like clips just planned here because this is all unscripted. We're just going off the cuff here in the last 2 hours.
And Jason supported a lot of this kind of thinking that was against the kids. This is the one thing I do know. I may not have been keeping up with everything, but I do know this. There are a lot of videos that exist when they're living in the uncle's house where Jason is not speaking well of William or Zachary. And Shanny's sitting there nodding her head and agreeing with it. Again, continually accepting a child abuser over her own kids. Shanny had a brain. And then she had an IQ bigger than a peanut. You know what I mean? She would have dropped him the day he kicked Zachary in the back. The day that happened, it should have been done. Jason had nothing to offer. She could have had an argument. Okay, G-Man, it's just me and my boys. Please let us stay here for X amount of time. You know what I mean? Yada 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 or whatever. Because you remember, Jason was offered 2 jobs by contractors that I wanted him to work for. He could have made $11 an hour, you know, and then working 8 hours a day, and he didn't want to work. She was just dumb. She made poor choices, and now she's suffering because of it.
But I swear I remember her saying something about that. Again, I'm working on a Shanny for Christ's Files video. Like I have a huge documentary style video that is coming out, right? Awesome. And I have so much, like it's like almost 2 hours. I've had so much content. I've watched so much content of her. I've heard her say crazy things, but maybe I'm misremembering. I don't remember.
Okay, that's fair enough. But I just want to compliment you that you're a very good facilitator of an interview. You're very good at this.
Thank you, because this is my first interview I've ever done.
Is that for real? Oh my God, am I honored, dude?
Let's continue.
All right.
She's got to have that negative attention, always just this negative attention. But anyway,
reason why I know Shanny thrives on negative attention, because I had a conversation with her over the phone and in person, and we talked about this, because I kind of do the same thing myself. I don't thrive in it, but I don't particularly care if people like me or not. And there's people in the chat that will back me up on this. I don't particularly care if people like me, but for some people on the internet like her, They don't care if the attention is negative. They don't care if it's positive. They don't care if it's neutral. They just need that attention so that they can get whatever goal that they want. In her case, she wants to be the constant victim so that she can get people for money all the time, which is what her MO is. And she talks about it a lot on Fat Courtney Love's YouTube channel. I've been doing this for a long time. I want to make coin. I want to make money.
When the police came over to get her out of the house, yes, it was Christmas Eve, but she was screaming and yelling and causing a lot of trouble. She took, instead of cleaning the room, she took and she shoved a good portion of it under her father's bed.
Did you want to? Did you want to put mom back on, Rep? Because we're on, right?
Oh, my bad. Thank you.
No problem. Producer, a little producing.
That's the first time I've ever used Streamlabs too, so bear with me.
You're doing great, actually.
I mean, my husband works hard. We don't have the greatest house in the world. Our house is, you know, over 100 years old. But he takes a lot of pride in trying to keep things nice in it, you know? And he didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that at all. We didn't do anything. She came to us after you left her, Chris. She came to our house, and I didn't know what to do because
five
the
people
kids.
that downvoted that video.
Yeah.
But if I think in hindsight, I should have made her stay there at the house that you guys were renting, because she could have gotten a job and she'd probably still be there. Well, until she roped Jason in. He's going to find out. He will find out the hard way. But I'll tell you what, if he threatens me or my husband again, he just needs to know that the Duluth Police Department know about them.
Okay.
Both of them. We have it written down. There's a paper trail. And he better watch his step.
Okay.
I have pictures of what the room looked like. I'm not going to show them here. But I have hung on to them in case anything else.
God is good, because not only did people see what happened in Boulder and how they kept the house over there in Boulder, you saw the mattresses, you saw how they left the place over there. But when it came to PA, you got to see what the house looked like when they was in the house there. And then you got to see how the house looked when they was with the uncle. This woman is not lying. She's telling the 100% unadulterated truth.
You know, happens. But now she's in Pennsylvania. She should just go on with her life. She should just go on with her life and stop making these crazy ass videos.
Jason should have woke up when Shanny was making all of those videos about Chris. I love you, Chris. And she was trying to get Chris back, and she was trying to reel him in. I guarantee you, Jason, that if Chris wanted her back when she was in Colorado, she would have dropped you like a bag of trash and went right back to him. Don't even get me started if I wanted her. Thank God I didn't. But, you know, if I wanted her, I could have took her from you a long time ago.
I agree.
And trying to get everybody all stirred up and just expanding the hatred.
I agree with that the whole time.
She's married now. She's married to this guy.
No, he is. No, she isn't.
She's supposed to be focusing on how much they love each other.
Or how much money.
But she won't do that. It's heartbreaking.
She wants his money. Yeah. Money. Yeah.
I apologize to my followers or
that woman
my
was
subscribers
left and right. How many of you remember when she bought Brett Keane? Tried to buy my best friend, Evangelist Ken. She was buying YouTubers left and right to get them to speak positive about her. And then the first time they said something negative, I'm cutting you off. That's right. I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off. Like, all of these videos exist on YouTube. It's absolutely hilarious.
This video, this is something that had to be done. I'm not going to keep this video up here. And I promise you that I'm going to go back to my garden.
Yeah.
So I hope you got the message, Jason and Shannon. Good luck to you. I hope that you get the help that you need. Fine.
Now, here's the thing. Another reason why Betty is right and Shanny is wrong. Basically, her entire immediate family just didn't want nothing to do with Shanny no more. According to Shanny, her cousins don't want nothing to do with her no more. aunts, uncles, siblings, or whatever don't want nothing to do with Shanny. Absolutely nothing. Okay. If Betty was lying, Jason, don't you think somebody in her family would want to stand by her side?
But it won't be coming from your family anymore. We're done. We're through. Just want you to know that. I don't take pleasure in it either. I think it's horrible how things went down.
Wow.
You would feel the same way as a mother, or maybe not.
But again, I'm requesting this. The next person that interviews Jason, I need to bring up the cancer scam. I'm dead serious. Bring up the cancer scam. Pay this guy $30 to go on your channel and make him answer the cancer stuff. Why did he lie about Shanny having cancer?
You seem to put yourself before your kids all the time. Right now,
That's the only thing.
Jason
also find out why they lied about breaking up multiple times too.
is only seeing the honeymoon phase.
True.
He said true.
He'll see what you're really about.
Wow.
Okay, that's it. That's all I got to say.
Wow.
How do you feel about that? No, I mean, the last part of the whole video was towards you.
Wow. That's what I would call shell shocking.
Truth from the grave. I'm sorry to say, Betty has passed away. She's not alive, and the father isn't alive either. They're both dead. So, I mean,
yeah.
You're in a situation now where somebody.
I remember when Shanny was living in the house, she was crying, saying, "How do you cope with your dad being gone and whatnot? How do you cope with your dad being dead?" And she would act like she was all sad, and then the very next day, she was making a YouTube video claiming she hated her parents and she's glad that they're gone. Like Shanny was a trip. She was an absolute trip.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Almost 6 years ago is talking to you, and now you're in the situation that you're in, away from it all, separate.
She told the truth, man. I feel that as best as she could tell the truth, she did that, I think. And wow, it's literal shell shock. I'm like, I just listened to that, and it was
Hey, Jason, I got a question for you. If you never got involved with Shanny, would you have money right now? If you never got involved with Shanny, would you have money in your pocket right now?
Really aimed at me at the end, like you're gonna get it. You're gonna
hashtag Betty was honest. Betty was right.
Yeah, she was. See, I would use that hashtag now. That would have been something that I would have defended her against.
If you join other streams, you should say that. You should make that a slogan. Hashtag Betty was right.
I'm gonna make that definitely part of my repertoire now. Definitely. Holy crap. All right, Rep, are we going to wrap it up, or what's the deal?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Guys, I want to say thank you guys for watching. Sorry, this was a long interview. I can tell you're a little...
All right, so I don't usually go through a Jason video that lasts that long, but it needed to be shown that, from my perspective, how much of a liar this guy actually is, especially when my name got brought up into it. Me and him have issues because he likes to get on the phone and call people the N-word on multiple occasions, and I can't keep talking to a guy that doesn't understand that he should not talk to another person that way, especially when he does it is always over the phone or when I'm a far distance away from him. He never does it to my face. The only person who had the cojones to do that in my face was Shanny, and the only reason I didn't strike her was because she was a woman. That's the only reason I didn't do it. Now, let me show you guys something here. If I even have it here. This is what I'm gonna do with people in the future when people do this kind of stuff. You know how the police have body cams? I actually bought a body cam. I have one myself. For those of the people that's gonna meet me in person and think they're gonna get away with saying that mess and thinking nobody's gonna know, you better make sure I'm not wearing this. That's all I got to say. Make sure you know I'm not wearing this. And I now travel with protection. So if Shanny ever comes near me and she tries to act stupid, she won't be happy, that's for sure. And she won't be comfortable. So just want to put that out there. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. I had like almost 500 people watching me today. That's crazy. I can't even get 10 people to watch me on the other channel. Let me see something here. What's wild is he had 2 houses already paid. Yep. And 750. The guy was a millionaire. He literally was a millionaire. And he gave his uncle a house for $1 and he gave me a house for $1. That is a very wasteful person. That's like you having a child and you give them $100 and they spend all their money on candy. I'm sorry, on candy and give the rest of it away just because he think he can get away with it or whatever. Just dumb. I'm not saying that he's dumb for being generous for giving me a house. He's dumb because when he was in Boulder, the house was still his. And then they thought I was going to be so stupid that I was going to fix the place up and then hand it right back to him. They actually thought this mess. Ain't crazy. All that money I spent, they must have been out there, man, please. I don't feel bad 1 second if they sleep on the curb. 750,000, 2 houses, and now this. People need to stop even buying them a $1 menu burger. He asked for this. Well, I'll take it a step further. What the Bible actually says about this. The Bible says that if you don't work, you shouldn't eat. If you don't work, you should not eat. If he's not working and he refuses to work, you know what I mean? Then he needs to, suffer a little bit if he's not going to work. We all got to get up and work. I got to get up and work tomorrow. Y'all got to get up and work tomorrow because if you don't do it, you're going to be sleeping outside, and we all know it. Wait a minute. I missed that last question. Hold on. How much do you have to put into that house to get it fixed? About 30 grand, maybe a little bit more. That house needed a lot of work, and I mean a lot of work. I'm talking about the foundation was even messed up a little bit. I had to do a lot of stuff. That roof was no joke, all the work I had to do with that roof. YG, man, why didn't you report the abuse? I did something about it. You know what I mean? At least what I saw as being like stupid or whatever, like them holding food or whatever. I simply took them to the store and bought them more food. And I made sure that when they got their food, I went right into their room and said, this food belongs to William and Zachary. Ask William, he'll tell you. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I was all against Shanny and Rev either, because when I was friends with them, they would tell me that the kids would eat all of the food. And I believed it. And I think when my mind started to change was when I started going there and I saw rice, beans, like they had cans of ravioli, they had spaghetti. Nobody wanted to cook. And then the food that they didn't want, if you saw the garbage, all of the food was in the garbage. Shanny got mad at me one time because all of her clothes was in the garbage and all of her stuff was going. I didn't throw that stuff away. Jason threw that stuff away. Like there were garbage bags full of clothes and all that stuff. And that stuff stunk. It smelled like urine. This smelled terrible, man. He threw all that stuff in the garbage. And what was funny, they had a washer and a dryer in the basement. They had a washer and a dryer in the basement. I can say this. I wash Shanny's panties and her bra and Rev's drawers and all that stuff. The washer back and they were too lazy to go themselves. Don't forget that this man defended Chinese and it's in past tense. Past tense. Do I do it today? No. No. So the only thing I got to say is, what's your point? One of the things I got to repeat to YouTubers like this is don't talk to me like I'm Jason and Shanny. I actually got one of these. All right. And I'm not going to block you. That would be too funny if I did. I'm going to leave that there. Because if that's true, then, and you're who I think you are, and you're a Dragoon, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you're friends with Underhaven, or you were friends with Underhaven. Just saying. Underhaven likes really young people. You might want to be careful with the past tense argument, because it doesn't look good for you if you do. You know, and he ain't the only person that you were friends with. You're friends with Frank. Got a little problem with that one too, considering what we know about that stalker. Anyway, let's continue. Somebody who's a G-Man fan here. Appreciate.
Here's something really cool. Ground penetrating radar has penetrated the Sahara Desert and has found a series of stone roads that seemingly lead in all directions to obviously civilizations long since gone and waterways long since gone, back to a time when the Sahara was lush and green. The question is, who built it? Well, we don't know, but it's very ornate, very complex. Obviously, it's not something hastily thrown together by cavemen or something. This is something that was built with purpose and was, at least according to the artist's rendering, quite ornate, quite pretty, beautiful even. But yeah, so what about that? Isn't that neat? There's these ancient stone roads existing under the Sahara, back to a time when Sahara was lush and green. Now, would this be all the way back to the time of ancient Sumer? It might even be before the time of ancient Sumer. I'm not sure. But I heard about that. I was passing through the internet like I do, going to and fro, and I just happened across a video that was talking about that, and I'm like, hey, that's fascinating enough to talk about, and maybe stir up some conversation with that, because that sounds pretty fascinating. But yeah, they use ground penetrating radar, and there's this series of roads, very complex roads, made of solid stone, just going to obviously places that no longer exist and waterways that no longer exist. I imagine there was intense waterways at one time, and civilizations cropped up next to whatever those waterways were. Of course, now it's all sand and desert, but yeah, fascinating, huh? Isn't that neat? I wonder what civilization built all these roads. It wasn't Rome, that's for sure. So who was it? Who built these roads? Well, we don't know. I don't think we know. The video didn't seem to indicate they knew who built the roads either. Said they were very ornate, very beautiful, and very complex. Okay, so this wasn't a bunch of cavemen built these roads. This was built by an intelligent race. So, wow, pretty cool, huh? I thought it was cool enough to mention, and I hope you do too. And so, maybe at a later time I can get a little more research in, and we can talk more about them. But wow, isn't that neat? I thought that was pretty cool, and I thought I'd share it with you. I'll see if I can dig up some more info on these roads, see if we can lock down who maybe might have built them. But if they predate ancient Sumer, the only people that could have built them would be either Lemuria or Atlantis, because they're the only motherfuckers that have been around back then, right? But in any event, I'll see what I can dig up. But I just thought I'd share real quick before I forget, because it's pretty cool, man. That's pretty neat shit, huh? And they're I guess they're down in their ways, down under the sand quite a ways. Back like they said, back when a time when the Sahara was lush and green, before all the sand and more sand and more sand and more sand. But anyways, but yeah, I just thought it was really cool and thought I'd share. So anyway, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, donate, and pontificate, because your donations and gifts of love keep me going through these trying times. And I am so hopeful that sometime in February, maybe at the latest, I'll be out of this mess and everything will be back to so-called normal, kind of, sort of. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see. Of course, everything is ultimately up to the gods, isn't it? The gods and goddesses. Whatever they decide. They said, though, that I would be restored. They said that, in fact, they even said my body would be restored. Because remember, folks, I'm sure you've seen me shirtless, where I had the six-pack abs and all that. they kind of talk like I'd get all that shit back, and me at 60 years old. And I know people would look at that and they're going to laugh. They're going to say, well, what, Lon, you're 62 years old. Well, now, wait a minute now. Robert Kennedy is 74 years old, and he looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, for fuck's sake. He is totally ripped. So, I mean, if Robert Kennedy, if Robert Kennedy, I'll spit it out, can do that at 74, I should be able to do that shit at 62, right? Fuck yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's well within the realm of possibility, guys. Isn't that neat? That's pretty cool. So, yeah. So, I mean, you know, constantly on the positive side, you know, try to stay positive. Believe that I'm going to get through this rough patch, and that on the other side is total victory. Because remember, I got that card twice. I got that total victory card twice. What was that? 6 of Wands, I think, wasn't it? The card of total victory. I believe it was 6 of Wands. Anyway, I got the card twice, as if to say, you know, here's a double down. We're going to double down on this, so you know that you know that you know you're going to get it, right? But anyways, I'm not going to belabor the point, but I'm bound to be getting kind of close to subscriptions. At least I hope so. I think it said I had like 500 or 600 so far, something like that. So, you know, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell. Those things are free. They don't cost you nothing. And the like button doesn't cost you anything either. So make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. And in that way, you'll be notified whenever I go live or whenever I upload a video. All right? Yeah, very cool, huh? All right, so anyway, y'all have a pleasant day and better tomorrow. Bye.